Opening up. Here we go.
Hey,
Hello, everybody.
Good afternoon. Let's watch this exciting opening. Oh.
It's all about art, all about art, all about art. With David D, Tom Calvin, and Joe Moore.
Hey, bravo.
Hello.
Gee, well, look at that. Oh,
I know.
God.
We are
Impressive.
so uptown. We are so uptown.
I'm telling you. Look at it. We've come so far.
Produced by Alex Asena.
Thank you, Alex. Oh my
Thank you,
gosh.
Alex.
Oh, I'm getting chills. It's just exciting to be part of this kind of program. This level of technology
This
and
level of technology,
production values,
and my comprehension.
Oh, our growth, we have grown so much since we first started last year when COVID came and we went to this format.
Yep.
And yeah, it's been we have a need a party. Somebody should throw us a party.
I think
Absolutely.
so. We should actually party over at Sopatai when Joe Moy's band Cadillac Ride is playing next time. So, I just thought I'd share that idea with the two of you, and
that'll be the theme.
It'll be with our listening audience.
It'll be an All About the Arts cast party, open to participants and friends, and
that would be fun.
Any guests are invited. Any of our past guests that we've had.
Well, that'll be great.
We'll reach out and say party.
Kind of an alumni reunion kind of thing.
Well, Pam's watching. She likes the opening.
All right, good.
Okay, there we go.
Pam.
There we go.
So what do you got, Tom? Any weird art news going on? That's a loaded question, of course.
Weird news. What's it called? It's called Toxins Run Riot in Hollywood. Hollywood celebrities are required to keep fit. It's a job requirement. That's why Kylie Jenner and the Kardashians swear by skinny tea detoxes. Professional nutritionist Dr. Carol Apovian reminds us the, quote, detoxification of the body is a natural process carried out by the kidneys. Nothing we eat or drink will assist in this process, end quote. So since these teas are nothing more than laxatives, it's my suggestion that you make sure you have plenty of reading material in your bathroom if you use Fit Tea to cleanse your innards. And so moving on to Gwyneth Paltrow, a source of wisdom we all turn to from time to time, she reminds us to clean away our system of toxins by drinking her specially made juices. Dr. Apovian says much of the weight loss during the cleanse is due to fluid losses. When normal fluid energy intake is resumed, the water weight is quickly regained, and the dieter winds up looking less like Gwyneth Paltrow and more like an overstuffed chair. Mariah Carey eats only purple vegetables to lose baby fat. Purple veggies like radishes and eggplants are healthy, but so are all veggies healthy, mostly. They're not color-coded to determine which one causes you to lose baby fat. You kind of have to explore that yourself. But shouldn't Mariah Carey have lost her baby fat by at least her late teens? Dr. Apovian would suggest a balanced diet with a variety of colors and hues on your plate as conducive to maintaining health weight. Of course, if purple is your favorite color, why eat anything that's not purple? And in saying this, I'm trying to channel Mariah Carey's stream of thought. Shailene Woodley eats clay as part of her detox lifestyle. Not only does this sound crazy, it is. It has zero basis in health science as conducive to health. In fact, clay can actually be harmful and contains high amounts of arsenic and lead. And I think if you were to just go to a licensed nutritionist and said, what's good for a good diet for me? And they said, well, have you thought of arsenic and lead? You might report that person. You might, certainly you might not reschedule. But clay, she finds that clay is better than veggies. And it actually, it not only doesn't work, it compromises your, it does something, it's bad. And I don't know why I'd even have to stress that. It's clay. Why would I have to convince myself or others in our listening audience that eating clay is not good? Let's move on to Beyonce, who swears by the lemonade diet or Master Cleanse. It sounds like a Marvel thing. Master Cleanse, where you replace meals with a concoction made from lemonade, water, maple syrup, and cayenne pepper. I'm focusing on that one phrase, replace meals. I don't like that phrase. I think it's, think about replace meals. What, with a juice? Here, let me drink down my meal. No, we don't replace meals. But at any rate, let's see what Dr. Apovian says about this. She says that not only does it not work, you also compromise your metabolism due to insufficient protein content, and you run the risk of malnourishment. So watch out for the Master Cleanse used by Beyonce Knowles. Harry Styles drinks bulletproof coffee every morning. This is coffee mixed with butter and coconut oil. The claim is that the fat-only breakfast stimulates your body to burn more fat during the day. There's no science to support this claim. In fact, enough bulletproof and you'll wind up needing silver bullets for your hemorrhoids. Summary song, what's it called? It's called Help Me, I'm Full of Toxins. Whatever happened to good old food? Like meat and potatoes to fill your gut. Some stars eat clay, but they won't eat tomatoes. They won't eat tomatoes. Is that crazy or what? What are these toxins these stars need to flush with teas and juices and cans of orange crush? Just let your body organs do their jobs and go get a big boy at Bob's. Hollywood land of fruit and nuts, good for large breasts, fat, flat stomachs, large butts. But don't go for food products they try to sell. You'll make them rich, but they won't make you well.
Yes. Yeah. All right, Tom.
Well done, sir, as usual.
Gee.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, America.
They like me. They really like me.
They really like me.
Yes.
Yes. I always like Sally Fields, even the Flying Nun.
I did too.
Yeah.
She just had that wholesome thing, right?
Yeah.
That prepubescent feeling of why is she giving herself up to the nunhood? Sally, don't do it to mankind.
Yes.
Yeah. No, don't give yourself
that. That was all pre-Forrest Gump, right?
Yeah, it was.
We saw another side of her in the.
Was she in Forrest Gump? Oh yeah, she played the mom.
Yeah, the mom. Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
Willing to do anything for her son.
Yeah. She's really a good actress. She's been good in a lot of things since The Flying Nun. And she was good in The Flying Nun. I mean,
she won an Oscar.
I think some of those scripts changed my life, I'll tell you.
Oh, golly.
What do we got going today, David, in the world of the arts?
Well, we're going to do that. We want to bring on one of our guests to start with. And
okay, yeah.
Well, she's on our calendar, but you can actually say it. She's top of our calendar, isn't she?
She's in our green room, and we'd love to have our good friend and colleague at YubaSutterArts&Culture, Sue Graue, join us if she's ready. Hey, she's there. Hi, Sue.
Hi, Sue.
Hello. Hello,
Sue's,
Joe, David, Tom.
I have the great pleasure of working with Sue at YubaSutterArts&Culture, and that's just part of Sue's story. As I think many of you know, Sue's a remarkable nature photographer, really focuses on birds, frequent contributor to the KVIE art auction. You're in again this year, aren't you, Sue?
I'm in again this year, fortunately.
Oh, that's very kind and generous of you to do that.
Well, it's a chat. It started out as just a challenge, and then it became a habit. So,
right there you go. Well, in addition to the incredible nature photography, Sue proposed a project a couple of months ago, and this was pandemic inspired. And she came up to us and said, "Gee, what if we put on a program called Homebodies Porch Portraits? We'll put the word out that I'll volunteer my time. We'll go out, meet people, socially distanced. They just come out, stand on their porch or in their front yard, individually or a couple or a family scene, hold signs, wear costumes, whatever the case may be. And what do you think? And we said, yeah, that sounds fantastic. So, Sue, now that I've given you that intro, talk about Homebody's porch portraits.
Hey, thanks, Tom. I mean, David, I was looking at
We look
chat
alike,
here on the other side. Sorry.
He's my movie double.
Yeah,
David,
that's it.
I was distracted. I did try to send those images, but I don't think they made it. I sent them to Alex. It was an inspired idea or concept, if you will, and happy to share with you how that came about because it certainly wasn't anything I had on my mind, but I had gone into the forest, the Mendocino Forest from Colusa County into Lake County. And I knew that I was 22 miles into the forest when I encountered snow on the north slope. And I was there by myself, of course, because it's COVID pandemic time. And I had to decide whether I wanted to turn back and repeat the 22 miles I had just gone, or did I want to take my chances, not knowing what was ahead of me on the snow. I knew where I was headed, but I didn't know what I was going to encounter. So I assessed it and then distracted myself with word games. And it came up with little cliches and phrases like homebodies. And then I thought of we're all at home and ordering and how there's porch pirates. And then that evolved to porch portraits. And it just, that's how.
Yeah, porch pirates, porch portraits, the mind wanders.
A little stream of consciousness.
I was distracting myself from my high anxiety about where I was driving and what if I had a flat tire, or what if this, or, you start getting into, and so I was really wanting to distract myself as I continued driving.
I'm hoping that we'll get some of your pictures up, and I don't know that this is going to do justice to anything, but this is one of yours that I had to have.
Yes.
It's just a wonderful, expressive hawk, and it's on the wing here, and or about to be on the wing. But this is hanging in my office, just here, and we talk before I start seeing clients in the morning. And I'll say, Mrs. So-and-so is coming in today, or, Bill's coming in. He's got what do you think? You think it's PTSD, or is it just acute trauma? And the bird says nothing, but it just seems to help me get my thoughts organized. And seems like this bird is listening to me and absorbing what I'm saying. So I love your stuff. I've got another one in the house that you dropped off at my door that's just a landscape with a barn with a blue roof. And it just stands out. It's just so sparkling, and I love Sue Graue stuff. You're a wonderful, wonderful photographer.
Thank you so much, Tom.
Alex, our Alex is here with your pictures, Sue.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you. Yes, these are just a few of the porch portraits that I've taken. Folks that agreed to be on social media. So I was able to send a few to Alex there at the last minute. So, and I'm putting just first names. I'm not putting cities, addresses, last names, no identifiers, just a first name. And everybody gets to be who they want to be. Really, the end of the story will be, it's a year-long project. So the end of the story will be as we look back on these photographs and remember this year, because you know how photographs really evoke memories that you don't otherwise have on your mind. So that's really the point of the book. And the whole community idea that people are willing to participate and share their lovely faces and be vulnerable really to a stranger. And so it's just a great exchange, and I just can't wait for the end. I'm putting the book together as I go along, so it inspires me to see as I flip the pages the different wonderful people that appear. So yes, here we are.
Sue, do you think we'll have a gallery show as well? I know you'd always talk about the book.
Yeah, we sure could. Definitely. I did speak with some people about the gallery show because I think it would be great. It fits into another project that I have in mind where you participate in something like this as an individual. You don't know who else did. You show up at a point in time and meet the other people who participated. So a great way to get
Yeah.
to know people. And
So this is
so,
brilliant.
oh,
This is a brilliant idea.
oh, thanks so much. Again, it was inspired on the mountaintop.
We're going to sign up, and we'll be holding instruments or something. We'll have something
love it.
self-defining. But what a great idea this is, and I think a gallery showing and a meet and
Mhm.
greet your other
A meet and greet.
participants. Yeah, I think it's just what a great idea.
How
Yep.
Sue, do you know about how many have signed up so far? About how many you've got?
Oh, I have close to a dozen already, and
Wow.
I have some on the calendar, and I have people who, just like Tom and others who want to, Joe, who want to. We just haven't set the date. And the other thing that I do is you get immediate gratification. I send you a high resolution image or images, and I offer folks, if you don't like it, I'll come back. I'll come back.
So money
Again,
back, money
A
back.
money back guarantee.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
But what?
'Cause
That's a joke. Because what does it cost to do this?
Oh, it's a donation to the YubaSutterArts&Culture, if you like. Otherwise,
But yeah,
the cost of sharing your face really is about, and your time.
that's very true. Yeah, Sue's happy to
Are
do
some
this.
people making some donations? Is that? And
Some
I
people
think
have,
yeah.
some people have committed to making a donation to the Arts Council.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
And we very
Mhm.
much appreciate that. But there is absolutely no obligation. We want you to be part of
But
this
it's not,
community art
yeah,
project, right? That's kind of how I
it's not
characterize it.
it's not a feature. It's really put there more so that folks can feel if they want to contribute, they can, because it's not always easy for people to just receive. They want to have a bit of an exchange, and so it's
Right.
really provided for that. It's not a
Hmm.
money feature at all.
Yeah. But if they want
It's
to
really
give,
challenging.
if they want
Oh,
to
I'm
give
sorry,
money,
Tom.
no, I'm just saying. But on the other hand, if they
Yeah,
pull out their wallets, we're not going to say, please, just
I
receive. Don't give me anything.
we'll put it
I
to
would
good
take the
use.
money. Yeah,
We'll put
we'll
it
put
to
it to,
good use.
yes, yes. No,
Yeah.
I think it's, yeah, I understand your point, though. Just to do a gratuitous act of kindness, act of fun
Well,
and photography.
and again, it's going to be the end. It's like who did show up to participate, and it's really where the impact is going to be. And I'm seeing that now as I put the book together, and I like I say, I flip the page and think, wow, it's really going to be the end. It's like rice harvest or anything else. You really don't, you're grinding away out there sunrise to sunset. But when the project's done, you're just so rejoiceful, and
Hmm.
it's a good
Are you
time.
hearing? Are you hearing? I know you don't have a lot of time with the subjects, but are you hearing any stories from them about why they signed up? Are they offering any anecdotal little tidbits? Or
They just like it.
yeah.
People that have said anything, they said, I really like this and I want to be a part of it.
Is there a narrative to the book, Sue? Will there be a narrative? Is there any kind of who are these people and what are they doing? And is there a back? You gave
I,
many anecdotes, but will there be a written narrative accompanying
there,
any of the
there could
photograph?
be there could be the one thing I thought about as we get closer toward the end, and I revisit folks about what we're doing and get final permissions and that sort of thing. And I was going to ask if they wanted to make a comment, and we
That
could
would
throw those on a page and have it
that
in
would
the
be
book.
cool to collect those. Yeah. Oh,
Hmm.
I like that. I like that
And
idea.
I do have a special email set up so that I capture any dialogue that goes on with folks, and I can share some things that way. But yeah, catching the flavor, definitely.
So
Yeah.
This
how do
is going to
people
be
get
a nice.
involved?
Oh, go ahead, Dave. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I
Sorry.
was just going to say how do people get involved? We've got it up on the screen there, right?
Yep.
Yes, right there to that email. And that's good because then I can put everybody right there. I don't have to look other places, and I send all my pictures that way. and it's exclusively for this project. So,
Porch Portraits 2021
and
at
I'm going to
gmail.com.
Sacramento. I'm going to other cities.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
So the community will be whoever wants to say, I want to be part of this community.
Okay.
Sue, do you stop and chat even though you're at a distance? Are you having conversations, meeting new people, anything like that happening?
Yes, Tom. I'm glad you asked that. And again, I'm so sensitive to people sharing their faces because not everybody wants their picture taken. Even for this project, I've had a few comments about how people are just so shy about. And I said, you can have a hat on, you can have sunglasses on, you can,
Right.
you can be camouflage. But yeah, it's been great for me too because photographing nature, it doesn't matter to that bird if I blurred it or I didn't get it in a good
Yeah.
a good light, if you will. But with people, it's a whole new, or it's just a different level of. It's a communication and not to look too posed and to get folks to be spontaneous and capture the essence of who the people are. Like those
Yeah.
great faces right there. I
Like-
mean,
like
Yeah,
this-
they just look like they're having fun.
Speaking of
they
wearing hats and costumes, right?
Well,
Oh, look at this.
There's the
Have
color.
you
They're
had-
all black and white. The
There you
official
go.
portraits are all black and white, but
Yeah, the finished product will be black
just
and
like
white.
it- well, you don't get to wear all red every day, right? I mean,
No, these were
Nice.
great. You guys, that was so much fun.
we were
Yeah.
among the first. My daughter Fiona was in town,
You were.
and she heard about this, and Sue was coming over. She says, and she's always ready for a costume party. So, being a Burning Man enthusiast, she loves costumes. So we had a lot of fun. So that was so great.
in that line, I, as an extrovert myself, have you had any other people that you photographed that kind of went full, check me out with their costumes? And stuff?
No, not yet. And when people worry about, well, can I wear can I just be myself? Can I wear that? We say, well, you can be naked if you want. You can wear costumes. You can bring your cats and dogs. You can, it's really what you want to look back on as a memory, like for this time. And a friend of mine just posted a picture of himself. He's probably 70, but I think it was like a 1-year-old, and we all know the families and everything. It was just this adorable picture, and I said, what would we do without photographs to remind us of who we really are? So this is just a moment in time and a significant year and a significant time in our history. So it'll just be something like that. That's simple.
Yep, a real time capsule. I love that idea.
I want to do it
And-
now. I don't have to be naked, do I? I'm getting the impression that
No,
this is
it's clothing optional, Tom.
Yeah.
so, okay.
Next year, Stoney should be able to do the naked gardening thing, and I
Yes.
know I was on his list, and so Tom, you could come join me in the garden.
Well, we're doing it.
I don't want to, Joe. I just don't want to.
Wait. We're doing it this year, Oh, wait,
Yeah.
there's more.
Oh, what?
This year's
Not much
theme,
more of me.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah.
This year's theme is this was Stoney's idea. He says we're doing naked farming day. We're literally in the process right now of looking for locations where broad-minded ag folks in the community will allow Stoney to come out with subjects and pose on farm equipment or in orchards. And so we're trying to find anybody out there that knows folks that might have good settings of more of a commercial gardening kind of thing, not just home gardening. That's what we did 2 years ago. So Naked Farming Day is the theme, and we're hoping to have a show in June. So
I know I reached out to some of our friends. You guys know our Gridley farmers. And I think they were interested. So I haven't heard from Stoney, but yeah, I could reach out again.
All right. Let us know.
The crop that is perfect right now is the wheat. The winter wheat.
Oh, really?
Is pretty high right now.
Talk to some of your ag
not going to be high enough.
See what you can do.
I may never look at a John Deere tractor the same way again. So
that's true.
Well, Sue, this is an aspect of the arts, so we haven't covered too much on all about the arts. we've had Brian Schill and we've had some other artists, but visual arts are oftentimes not what we present here. And so I've been wondering, when we're going to have you on the show. My wife thinks we've had you on. This is the second time. Could that be? Were you one? You have not been a guest before.
No.
Well, thanks. I just want to bet. But I shouldn't be sharing that with the audience at large. But I just thank you. Thanks for clarifying that. But,
No problem.
But so, are you? Give us when does this all start for you, Sue? You told me your process has to do with just going out there and photographing and photographing and photographing. But what's the starting point? What's your backstory?
The genesis of this.
Yes.
Having children, first of all, my daughter tells me that what she remembers is always having a camera in her face. So I think that was really my main inspiration. But then I started doing landscapes. Those were film days back in the 70s. And I was living in Davis, and you could rent the darkroom by the hour. So I worked with some commercial photographers, and they were very encouraging, and it's just a great outlet, if you will. And then I took a period of time off. My camera broke. Then I went to a little point and shoot, and then around 2000, I had a life-changing event that took me over to Colusa County, where I dropped anchor for a number of years, and the Colusa Wildlife Refuge is 3 miles out of town. So it was very primitive then. There were no restrooms. No people from Colusa didn't even go there. So I started going there every morning before work, sometimes after work, depending on the time of year. And then traveling in the Western foothills, which I've been doing since the 60s. So it was pretty obsessive. It didn't make any sense at all to be doing that, driving all those miles. Didn't make any sense. Totally illogical. And but I just kept doing it, and I just had to do it. And it like the healing arts, if you will, or the art of healing. That's really what it was for me as well. Just being with nature, because no matter what man is doing and creating and destroying, the ducks are going to come in the fall. The warblers are going to come in the spring. They're going to lay their eggs. They're going to do what they do.
Yes.
So
well said.
you mentioned your camera broke. Where are you at now as far as cameras?
I went digital in 2006. And so I just renewed my 2 different camera bodies. I'm glad I did it now. There's a new learning curve. I wouldn't, I don't want to do it 5 years from now. So, so I went digital. I went from film to digital in 2006. I waited till, I think they were 10 megapixels. I worked with Mr. Elliott. He told me to wait till 10 megapixels. So.
Okay. And that was Elliott Photo?
Elliott Photo. And, he was very inspiring to me. I talked to him about photography as a way of earning a living. And he showed me his studio and gave me lots of tips, but he was really very discouraging. And, but he said one day, well, if you got a good lens and a good eye, you can be a professional. And kind of a light bulb went on. So, it just kind of rang a bell for me. And it's just a personal thing. And I did I went public in 2007 with a show. I said no at first. I said, no, that's my private world. But some friends talked me into doing it. So then I, have an identity as an artist. So I thought that felt great. So that's kind of it, Tom.
Yeah, good. Thanks for that. That's interesting. You are an artist. It's so, but I get that sense of an identity as an artist. Kind of,
yes.
This is something I'm serious about. This, I feel I'm good at this, and I want to share this. And that's, that identity is I'm creating something that's gratuitous. It doesn't have to be there, but it's going to make things a little more beautiful than they need to be. And
yes.
That's my hawk here. That's just
and that beautiful hawk.
It puts me and that's you. Whenever I get on Facebook, I know you've been up already before I am, and I know it's going to be fresh off the wire, and I'm going to see what you've seen in the morning, being actually out there in the backcountry, And it's just so admirable. You said you got there in the morning before you worked your job, and then sometimes after work. That's that artistic commitment that says, I'm not going to let fatigue get in the way of doing my art, and I
Yeah,
have to make a
that's
living.
bleeding over it for sure. I mean, it's like you have to do it. Like
Yeah.
I've got a half an hour. I could do that in a half hour. It takes me 2 minutes. How many miles is that? Okay. I mean, it's down to the minute, down to the calculation. How many gallons of gas am I burning? It's like
Yeah, just the commitment is obvious, and the rewards are for us because you just have some new things to share just about every day. It seems like to me.
Mhm.
And thanks, Tom. I'm not going out every day like I used to. I really did want to break that habit. And the refuge now is quite a bit further. But I want to share with you, this morning I was at Gray Lodge by 8 o'clock.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
if you can go on a Sunday morning around that time, there were only 2 cars in there. And it is
Ah,
magnificent right now. And David, Bullock's Orioles are in.
Oh, one of my favorites. Oh,
I saw one today. So
oh.
so anyway, yeah, it's an essential part of my life. I have to do it.
it's kind of driven, but it's you. What a good drive to have. What a you call it an obsession or call it a vital need, a survival need, or whatever. But what a good one to have.
For
It's
your
it's
health and well-being, right?
health
Yeah.
and well-being. And the really cool thing now is I've done it enough, so many years, that I know when and where to go.
I was talking to
So
a birder this. I was talking to a birder this morning in New Mexico, and I'm not a birder, but he was talking about how much you get out of your own head when you're observing other life forms.
mhm.
And he said if you're in a community that has you can identify 20 different species of birds in your community, then you're in a rich bird area. You're
Yes,
in a then there's many more than those 20, and is what he's saying.
way many more.
And so you're capturing things. He's just watching and taking notes, and he's gotten to the point where he's one of the national counters of various
Oh yes,
bird species, and he's really into it. But you're capturing them. But do you find that it kind of takes you out of your world? It kind of whatever your
Oh
thoughts and
yeah.
concerns are, you're in the moment with this bird and this camera right now.
Yes, absolutely, Tom. And that is the therapeutic benefit, if you will. I can actually get lost. You're making eye contact with wild things sometimes. You're
Hmm.
looking at, you're watching them eat something. You're watching them rip the feathers or the fur off of the skin and ripping the guts out of something. I mean, this life that's going on, this natural life. And I can literally be there. I'm looking through, a viewfinder, so that my view is very narrow to this spot. But I can literally come out and think, now where am I? What direction am I traveling? And
Yes, yes. So
it's
caught up in it. So caught up
it,
in the process.
and that happens all the time. I say, now where am I? Oh yeah, I'm on this road. Because I know all the back roads. I can take you all over and I can get you from point A to B on all
Uh-huh.
back roads.
Ah,
If
great,
you ever want a
great,
caravan, let me
great.
know.
We're so blessed with Gray Lodge around here.
Yes,
Oh
It's
yeah.
just such a great
love
place.
Gray Lodge.
Yeah.
Have you been? Have you been lately this year? Either of you?
I
Not
went
for, I
last.
think about 2 months ago was the last
I was
time.
there
Okay,
last
good.
month.
Okay, good. So you saw they remediated it. It's just beautiful. Open
Yeah.
vistas and wide roads, and it's just
Yeah.
fabulous.
Got to
Yeah.
get out.
Oh, it's great.
Talking about nature and awareness and being connected to the natural world. Thanks to Sue, I want to give a little shameless plug for next Tuesday's Artist Alchemy show at 4 o'clock. Sue introduced me to Walt Anderson. Some of you may know him. He did a lot of work in the 70s here in the Sutter Buttes. He's a biologist, naturalist, photographer, watercolor artist. I mean, author of
Amazing.
Inland Island, the Sutter Buttes,
Mhm.
and just a magnificent guy. So I'm really looking forward. We've been corresponding by email, and again, thanks to Sue for the introduction. He started helped get the Middle Mountain interpretive hikes going. Did a lot of work here. He lives in Prescott, Arizona now. Taught at the community college there, and has led ecotourism groups around the world. Talk about bird watching on a grand scale. So as a follow-up to this conversation, tune in or catch the instant replay for our conversation with Walt Anderson Tuesday afternoon. So thank you for that, sir.
Oh, that's great, David. I'm so glad that you did and he did, and maybe we could have it in serial interviews because he has so much going on.
Is
He's
he
got a
one
lot
of
to
your
talk about.
Is he one of your mentors, Sue? Who, and
You
if not,
know,
who are your
he's not
mentors?
he's a mentor in that my first trips into the Sutter Buttes in the '80s was with Walt Anderson.
Okay.
He was leading hikes in the Sutter Buttes, and with cameras, we're taking cameras because I'll never forget we were talking about rattlesnakes.
Mm.
And you can hit this little button that gives a little timer on those film days anyway, a little timer, and it makes this little rattling noise. Like I
Oh.
accidentally touched mine, and it's not like, oh, for a minute I thought, oh, a rattlesnake.
Yeah.
But pretty much that, and the fact that he lived in Calusa, he had a little gallery. I
Wow.
took some piano lessons from his wife at the time, and so he had paintings going on, and just really the being outdoors in nature with him. And I was with him again maybe 3 years ago. And in November, he was here. We did a hike in the Sutter Buttes.
Mm.
And this is so fascinating, you guys. At one point, he said he had identified by ear 39 different species of birds. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's tuned in. That's very tuned
Yeah,
in.
so he's really, really informed, and he's an encyclopedia.
Somebody like that is experiencing a nature walk so much differently than, for instance, me taking a nature walk.
Well,
There's just so much more depth to his walk than mine. There's so much more awareness of the surroundings and tuning in. And I mean, I
I
try
think it's
to, but my mind wanders. He's got to focus, and it's helping him to be tuned into this moment.
I
He
think
knows what it
it's like
is. Excuse me.
go ahead.
I was going to say he identified an oak tree out there in the Buttes that was a hybrid of about 3 different oaks. I mean, who would have known that?
Not me.
Not me either.
I mean,
He's
rule
got
me out.
he's got the geology and the botany and the
aviary.
microorganisms, the invertebrates, the vertebrates, the birds. I'm reading this book and it's just like overwhelming. And
Really?
he's one of those scientists that has as we've mentioned, kind of an artist poet soul. And so he's talking about the dangers of encountering a rattlesnake, but this one paragraph I want to share on Tuesday, it goes on in such a poetic fashion, that kind of makes you want to go out and encounter a rattlesnake, It's not quite, but oh yeah.
They're not that scary.
Someday when, well, I'll tell you about my encounter with rattlesnakes, but not today. I have
Ooh.
an interesting story to tell, but that's a teaser for some future weird news.
Can't wait.
And if you want photographs to go with your story, I have photographs of rattlesnakes
really?
with the tongue out.
Up close and personal.
Is it a forked tongue? Do they
So-
speak with
Yes.
forked tongue?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you are brave in addition to being sensitive to the world around you. You
That's a
have
good way to
courage.
put it.
Yeah, you have to have some courage to do this.
Telephoto lenses, Tom. Telephoto.
Right.
But still, if I could see them, I don't care how far away they are. If I could see them, they're a danger to me.
Once in a while I do get out of the car, but most of the time I try to stay in the car. But once in a while, I have gotten out, and you just say the distance, that you think that they can strike pretty fast. If you ever want to remind yourself, look at a YouTube.
Social distancing on a whole new level.
Social distancing, yeah.
Stay at least one rattlesnake away.
So,
Oh,
so you're catching birds in flight. You're catching, you're just. That's what you told me. It's just keep taking pictures. Just keep looking and just waiting, and they'll fly into your lens. Kind of. Is that?
Yeah. Well, like anything, the more you do it, you kind of master it a little bit. I would never say I'm an expert, but I'm going to say that I feel like I've mastered it to a degree when you can stop the wings and that sort of thing. But
Yeah.
What I want to say, I have to tell you a funny little side, if I may. A gentleman that takes photographs and was remarking on one of my owl pictures, trying to interpret what was going on for the owl. And I said, well, probably my presence. And I'm not so sure. And I said, I shoot from my car. And I already knew about this gentleman. I'd heard about him before. I said, well, I shoot from my car. I've been doing it for 20 years. I'd be happy to give you some tips. And his response was, "Oh, well, thanks anyway, but I'm a professional."
Oh boy.
Oh, that's
Oh,
what a professional is. You've already learned everything. So
That's what a
oh,
professional is. You just say, I'm a professional.
you already learned it all. So
Yeah.
I
yeah,
know everything.
I gotta say that if you shoot all the time, you become more intuitive with your camera, and you of course you have to be prepared. I'm constantly calibrating the shooting and making sure I've got my settings right. But I want to say too that it becomes kind of distracted driving because I
mm,
can literally see a movement and I can go right to where there's a bird on a pole. Anything that moves or it's out of context, I've trained my eye that way. So that's something that
no,
it's developed. I want to say you have to get there by doing it. There's
yeah,
Yeah.
no other way. And
I'm wondering if there's not some visceral sense of movement before the eye sees it, or that you're consciously aware that kind of the body's reacting to something that says,
it's
be
all of
alert.
that. Yeah, visceral
Yeah.
for sure. I usually have a visceral response to it, to something I want to photograph.
Yeah.
I feel it.
Hmm.
Um, um, I can get it home and I may not feel it again, or, just, but yeah, it is a visceral experience, and it's visual because I think we've talked about it, David. What's the one thing you remember you didn't get? And
the one
I
that
said,
got away.
yeah, so I've never forgotten the one that got away ever. And it was a beautiful ringneck pheasant in a beautiful setting.
Mm,
But because I had to reach back to get my camera, that was it. He was gone. So I learned the camera's here, it's on, it's calibrated, it's ready to shoot. It's not in the bag. I don't put it away,
right.
until I get home, basically. So
Okay. There's your
yeah, that's
photography
it.
lesson for the
Yeah.
day. Always be ready. Be prepared.
Be prepared. That's
And
right.
then you can do all of that, and then the very last thing, luck.
Like,
You're just lucky. But
It kind of reminds me of the old 95% perspiration and 5% inspiration. You're up and at 'em and you're going after this, and you're saying less so. Are you thinking you need to kind of stop the obsessional aspects of it and just chill into it, or is it just you're trying to get more sleep in the morning, or why
no,
are
it
you?
isn't that. No, honestly, you guys, I have to resist going out before daybreak. I get up, I look out the window, I say what time. I ask Alexa what time is sunrise, what's the weather today, what's the wind speed. I am ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you restrain yourself from going at times more
Yes,
often now.
I'm
What?
trying not to go every day.
Why? Why, Sue? I'm just kind of curious.
It's costly. You put miles on the car, and
Okay.
I will share with you. My most of my excursions are over on the west, on the Pacific Coast Range, Colusa County, Glenn County, and with all the fires and the drought,
Mm,
uh, the creatures are gone.
mm,
I
There's no
see.
habitat. There's no creatures. So
Yeah.
mm,
that's kind of a depressing thought right now of
yeah.
going there. I keep going, but I went to Bear Valley, which should be filled with flowers right
No
now.
flowers, right? Yeah.
No, and it's intoxicating in the aroma when you get out and stand in that valley with it filled with flowers. It's incredible. But I mean, I literally went up and came back out. I was out by 9 a.m. There's just
Mm,
nothing there. So
Oh, that's a
well,
sadness.
yeah,
That's a
it's
sadness.
sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, we're
we'll come
praying
back.
they're all coming back. That these critters are all coming back, and
it's really hard to say. I think the landscape has changed pretty permanently. The oaks are gone. The vegetation is gone. The hills in the forest look like the elephant hide or rhinoceros hide.
Mm,
There's
really?
just nothing
not
there.
coming back. Not coming back. Wow.
Thank
Oh,
you
Well,
so much.
all right.
yeah.
Well,
Great to
So,
share.
nature will take care of itself, and
It'll be
she'll be
something
back.
new. Yeah,
yeah,
it'll just
something
be
new.
something new.
Something will always come and
Not
take the
the
place.
same.
there's so much that you brought to just discussing your art that's taken us into kind of meditative areas and
Oh, I like it.
artistic areas. I mean, psychological areas, and using it as a container of emotional healing and
Yes.
things like that.
Mhm.
That this interview kind of goes under the heading of more profound than I expected it to be. That we'd just be talking about shooting film, but you
Yeah.
definitely have a philosophy to support what you're doing
Yes.
to underwrite this, and that's fascinating to me.
There
I
is a
think,
very much a zen to it, definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
I could talk to you a lot about the zen of photography, definitely.
Well, we'll have time to do that, Sue. You
All
know,
right.
we're down the
yeah.
block from each other, so you know,
All right.
we'll
Anytime.
do
I'd
that
love to.
sometime.
All
Yeah.
right. That sounds good. Thank you so
I don't
much
know.
for letting me share.
Yeah, and I don't want to close down the other two guys. Did we miss? Is there other
Joe?
questions you want?
No, I really like
Joe froze.
visceral feelings of when you find the moment when the photographs are there. But I get the same thing with my music and stuff. When I'm writing, I can tell when me and the music are all in the same place
Kicking
at
in.
the same time. Yeah. So
Yes.
I really enjoyed that.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's been your
Great.
introduction to Sue Graue. If you didn't know her before, please get a hold of Sue and sign up and be part of her Homebody's Porch
Yes.
project.
Well, and just to let you know, Sue, James Donaldson says hi.
Who? James. Thank you so much. Hello
Yes.
to James.
Yep.
Yes. My best to James. Thanks. He's in the mentorship group.
Oh,
That's
great.
right.
Yuba College.
Thanks for your art, Sue. Thanks for the energy
Thank
you put
you.
into it. The times
Thank
you get up in the morning and afterward. Thanks for your art, for sharing this beautiful
Thank
stuff with
you.
us.
And thank you
You're-
for looking at it and appreciating it. It wouldn't be the same without you. Thank you so much.
Well, I know there's
Right.
more to come, so
Thank you.
we're blessed to have you in our community. Thanks, Sue.
Porch
Likewise.
Portraits
Thank you.
2021 at gmail.com.
There
Sign
you
up.
Yes.
go. There you
Capital
go.
P's. Portraits.
I
Capital
think
P's.
it'll work either way, but I'm looking forward to meeting all of you that want to participate in that. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Sue. We'll see you
Thank
soon.
you a
Thank you,
lot.
Sue.
Thank you.
Bye. Wow, that was
Well,
fun.
Yeah.
She's a joy.
Indeed.
She's
A
she's
true
joy.
treasure in the community.
Absolutely,
In a
absolutely.
community of many treasures.
And when I walk into the art, have you ever seen Sue in a bad mood? Now I don't see it as much as you do, but
No.
I mean,
No,
she's
she
just
is
a sparkling kind of bright person. You walk into that
internally
art center and
up
she'll
and
welcome you.
positive.
Yeah. So yeah, we're lucky to have her.
No, and we're so happy to be able to work with her and all the energy she brings to the work at YubaSutterArts&Culture. So
Yeah.
She's the
Good
bee's
stuff.
knees.
She's the bee's knees. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Um,
Thanks,
we
Robert.
got a lot coming up this week. It's the next couple of weeks. Let's just run through the calendar real quick, and then we're going to get Gay Galvin on to talk about a really big show at the end of the month. But we talked about Tuesday and our conversation with Walt Anderson coming up. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that and seeing his art. Again, there's that whole science part to what he does, but talk about art and its many purposes. He's been a great practitioner of using his art, both his original paintings, watercolor, and photography, to support environmental awareness. And he's been very much an environmental activist, I think, through most of his career. So that's going to be fun to look at art from that perspective. So that's Tuesday. Wednesday evening, we've got the next in our series of conversations with government and community leaders. We've done a couple of these around women's issues and art and culture leaders. This one's a conversation with government leaders about the importance of public art. So that's Wednesday, April 21st, 6 p.m., YubaSutterArts Facebook page or YouTube. So we've got folks like Sean Harris, councilman of Yuba City, Stuart Gilchrist, Marysville City Councilman, of course, and an artist and designer, Jim Goodwin, who's now city manager of the city of Wheatland, who we first met when he was with Live Oak. And he helped get in fact, it was his idea to get the Murals of Live Oak project started. So we've got Marty Sanders from the Chamber of Commerce will be on. And then Don Blazer, as Yuba County supervisor, and Shane Grammer, who's a professional mural artist, and we're looking forward to working with him later this year. He's painted all those portraits on the remnants of buildings up in Paradise. Yeah. He's from Chico, and he did this. He told me when we spoke last week, kind of as an homage to his friends who lost homes and in the Paradise Fire two and a half years ago. So it's a great panel of folks to discuss, why public art? Why should the community support it? Why should the government support it? And I'm a bit biased myself, but we'll see where that conversation goes. So Wednesday evening. Next weekend, gosh, where do we start? We've got on the 24th, I think that's Saturday, April 24th at 6:30, we've got our latest art fix. The theme is Celebrate the 60s Flower Power. This is where we get together virtually, kind of like what the Crocker used to do. Of course, they've just opened up. I'm sure they'll start it again later this year. But in lieu of that, you can stay right in the comfort of your own home and experience kind of an art get together. So we've got dance instruction being brought to you by Alex Cicina. Who'll have some ideas for some snappy dance moves. I don't know if they'll be 60s style. Were they formal dance steps? Or I think it was more of a free for all then. But it'll be fun. We've got mixology. Pam Novak is our mixologist, and she'll have some themed cocktails to help you mix them up. Abby's putting together a new trivia game room program, and music and more. It's just a lot of fun. Art Fix, Flower Power. We're asking for a $15 donation to be part of this. It is a 21 and older event, so be part of it. We've had a lot of fun with a couple of these we've done already. So that's Saturday. And then on Sunday afternoon, we're having this year's edition of a Shakespeare's birthday party. It's the old boy's 457th. This is a free event, April 25th at 4 p.m. Shantae and I are going to co-host this. And it'll be kind of a fun multi-generational look at, why should we care about Shakespeare in 2021? And he's, like it or not, he's really kind of part of everybody's everyday life in one form or another. So Shantae and I have been going back and forth on the outline. She's got some great videos we've assembled. So it'll be, snappy repartee, Shakespeare's insults. We're going to talk about Shakespeare, the hot parts in Shakespeare. There's a lot more than you realize. And lots of great video clips that we'll be sharing. It's probably an hour program, 4 o'clock Sunday afternoon. And then, but wait, there's more. In addition to all of our regular stuff, gosh, I'm looking at the card. If you don't get these, I've mentioned this before. This is our monthly postcard we send out with all of our stuff. Saves you going to the website. If you're not already signed up, just jump on the YubaSutterArts.org website, and then you can subscribe right there, or just send us an email at YubaSutterArts.org. Tell us that you'd like to receive the monthly postcard, because there's just so much listed. So, but let's jump right in. Let's get Gay on the show and talk about Songs for a New World. And Alex, are you going to join in? This was Alex Cicina's idea. This incredible musical by Jason Robert Brown. Alex, Gay, take it away. You've been living and breathing this for months now. How did we get started, and what's it all about?
Well, so
I knows a lot more about how we got started.
but I'll let Gay talk a little bit about the process here, because she's been very integral, like the key part to all of this. Literally could not have done a single moment without Gay in all of this. Just starting, it's been a show that I've always wanted to do, mainly because it can be anyone can be reached by it. It's not a show about a particular thing. It's not like your old timey musicals where you're thinking Oklahoma and like everyone's thinking of the wind sweeping down the plain. No, it's not like that. It's a show that touches so many moments in people's lives. It touches on moments that you lose people, moments that you find absolute pure joy and bliss from just a simple Christmas moment. There's so many different little things in there, and it's just a wonderful show. And also it's very challenging musically for both the vocalists and for the instrumentalists. Jason Robert Brown is compared by some to be the modern Sondheim. But very jazzy, lots of difficult chords, lots of difficult things that are going on, and you have to hit it just right. So good stuff all around, though. And I really, really have enjoyed the show ever since first hearing it, probably back in 2003. And have just wanted to do it ever since. So, yeah, Beautiful. This has been about 20 years in the making.
And so, when I started learning the music, like I did the piano and bass parts, I thought, oh, this is really hard. Little did I know that was the easy part. because we all recorded separately, and I thought we'd all be using my little Zoom recorder and going from place to place, the social distance. No, people sent me WAV files, so I had to learn a program called Audacity, and you had to put the percussion with the strings with the piano and line them up, which proves to be rather tricky.
Yep.
Thought I was all done, then we find out, oh no, we get to do the same thing with the voice parts. So it's talking about the learning curve you guys were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
It's been a 4 to 8 hour a day job, but interesting.
Hey, you're learning a lot, aren't you?
Yeah.
Literally haven't seen much of Gay for about 3 months. We have dinner together, and then she goes to the recording devices and slices things, puts things together.
Oh.
And I think 4 hours is conservative. She teaches all day, and then she works on this for 4, 5, 6 hours at night. And so we're going to have some kind of big celebration when this is all over.
That's right.
Where we actually reacquaint each other with ourselves and find out what's been going
Go to
on.
the coast. Go to the
Yeah.
coast without your phone.
And
Leave your phone at home.
Who else is in the show?
Yeah, let's talk about the cast.
Yeah, I mean, I'll touch on that, I guess. We have Janet Fry, Matt Demerit, Kelly Cunningham, and myself are the 4 vocal pieces of the show. There's only 4 people in it, which is ideal for a show like this. And it's just truly like you get an alto, a soprano, a tenor, and then a second tenor. There's no bass or baritone in it. It's a really high show because musical theater isn't written for those lower voices, unfortunately. But yeah, they all came in and learned it. Matt was familiar with the show already. Janet and Kelly had to learn this from scratch, kind of like Gay. But definitely, I think they've taken to heart a lot of the pieces and what they mean. And I know Janet hams it up like Janet does, and Kelly,
Gotta love her.
yeah, Kelly lends her beautiful operatic voices to quite a few of the numbers, and has some great solos in there that'll definitely lend to that. And Matt is the perfect mix between the two. He has definitely that dramatic side to him as an actor. I think acting is probably like his forte. And then, hey, look at that picture.
There they are.
On the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gay, who are the other musicians involved?
Yeah.
Rich Celia from Grass Valley's on percussion, and Rebecca Hood did violin and cello for it. And it's interesting, like, again, putting those great voices. We rehearsed a lot in the theater, socially distanced, with the 3 singers. Unfortunately, Alex is in Boston, so we couldn't include him. But interesting that the way it sounded there versus in a dry studio where they couldn't hear themselves. So interesting what you have to do with, this person shouted here, you have to bring that down. This person you can't hear there, you have to bring it up. So it's like a measure by measure thing. But the Rich Celia, without him, I could not have done what I did because he got me started. And he does it for his church. He does percussion parts, and his percussion parts and the string parts added quite a bit to the orchestra. And we should mention when the show will be on. Back to Alex then.
Yeah, popping up here real soon. We're going to be doing this on April 30th, May 1st, and May 2nd. So what is that, like 2 weekends away?
Yeah, the 30th and the 1st, 7 p.m., May 2nd, 2 p.m. matinee. So
yeah.
And I should point out it is a fundraiser for Yuba Sutter Arts and Culture. We haven't gone to the trough very much this year, but if you can help us out, we've put the performers, the musicians have put just so many hours into this. We've paid for professional studios on both coasts to film this, and Gay, all of your time, and Rick and Rebecca's putting so much into it. So we'd love a little shout out from the community, a thank you, and for $15, you can be part of this amazing program. With if you don't know the show, you're in for a real treat.
It's going to be worth it. It's a good show. I've been listening to snippets here, and it's highly professional. It's very well done. And Alex is right. It's real strong material. It rocks. And it mellows out, and it touches your heart. And this is good stuff. And I also want to say before we go that Saturday, my guest on Spotlight on Songwriters smashed up his finger and is not able to play his guitar. my singer-songwriter guest for this Saturday will be Gay Galvin.
Hey.
Because not because she was handy, but because she's an excellent singer-songwriter. It's going to be a fun show. And of course, out of 5 shows, this is my second family member. I don't want to be accused of nepotism. So I'll admit it first. I'm a whatever that guy is. Nepotist, yeah.
Nepotist.
But it's going to be a great show. But so I didn't want to interrupt the emphasis though on this musical coming up. A great cast, great singers. Rich Celio, I saw him play drums for the first time last Sunday live. He's a great drummer, and my wife's a great musician. It's just going to be a wonderful show. So $15 is cheap for this production.
Like it's a wonderful show. It's been put up in multiple locations. There was the original 1999 production. There's been a recent revival in 2019, and it's been done on the West End, off Broadway. Like it's a great show just to have out there. And again, I just want to say thank you to Gay publicly. Could not have done it without her and her like her talent, her hours that she put into it. Like it's truly been amazing. Like honestly, I wish I could be there, and it's so hard being on another coast. Yeah, stuff like that. But here we are, and we put it together. It's a thing. We all learned from this experience.
Yeah.
And it's all going to be absolutely amazing in the end result. Like it's totally worth every single cent that you would hope to do this.
We've got the link to purchase tickets up in the comments section. Just go to YubaSutterArts.org. If you have any problem, get a hold of us at the office, and we'll hook you up. But really appreciate your support, and thank you to the artists and musicians for making this happen. So.
Right.
And like we always say, thanks to our guests, Gay Galvin and Alex Asena. Strange because Gay lives next door, and Alex is in Boston, but you're on the show every week. But this time you're our guest, so thank you very much for being our guest.
Thanks again to Sue Graue.
Oh, wonderful. Thanks, Sue.
Yes. Great show, guys. Great show.
See you Saturday on All About Songwriters, Gay.
Oh, yeah. And May 2nd, we'll be back with John Paris talking about his upcoming concert. So,
John's our guest in May 2nd?
Yep.
Okay. Another great pianist. Yeah.
All right. See you all soon.